Shane pressed the button before I had a cold open. Let's go.
Rubus, drum roll, please. It's Thursday! Welcome to the PHNX Sun Devils show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
It's a day, Totri.
It's been, it's been a hell of an
I think
afternoon.
the last 10 minutes have been one hell of a day.
Yeah, I would agree on that note. I'm Anthony Totri, this guy over here. That is, of course, Professor Oates. We've got the deli man behind the Mac, just making all of the magic happen. This ain't Mike, John Pickens, Glenn in here as well. Make sure you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, and you drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Rubus, a hell of an afternoon, like you said, in the last 10 minutes, and we've got a whole hour of fun planned.
I mean, this is going to be a show.
It will be.
I guarantee you this.
It will be a show.
It's going to be a show.
One way or another. This may be the last show. Given how the last 10 minutes have gone.
I think we got it all out of our system.
You think so?
You know, I think what we need to start doing is go live 10 minutes early just for the dial.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just pretend like there's no cameras.
I don't know if that's what
Come
we'll
on,
do.
man.
No, I think we're good. On that note. John, what's up, man? How you doing? This ain't Mike saying, hell yeah, I've been whining about local recruiting for years. Sharon asking what happened 10 minutes ago.
What happens off camera stays off camera.
That's on a need-to-know basis, Sharon. We're all good, though. And so is Kenny Dillingham and the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Can I get one more joke off?
You can.
We're not releasing that information.
No, we aren't releasing that information anytime soon, at least. Arizona State landing class of 2026 edge rusher Sinei Tengei. Tengei opted to stay home and play for Arizona State over a number of other Big 12 schools, including BYU and Iowa State that have other offers, including Boise State on that list as well. A 6'3", 230-pound edge rusher, a 3-star, kind of smack dab in the middle of those 3-4-star rankings. So probably won't see him elevate to a 4-star by the time he actually does play at Arizona State. Regardless, though, Rubus, we both saw the very same thing when you turn on the tape. This kid is a violent edge rusher. Violent.
It took one play, and he just lit up somebody, and I was like, oh, okay. I see you. I mean, not obviously a perfect player, right? There are definitely some things that need to be worked on.
He can grow
a little
as a
bit,
player, for
but
sure.
As a baseline, to me, you can't teach violence to a player. I don't feel like you have to. It's like Ghost, right? You just kind of gotta have that mental edge to you, especially in high school, to just lay somebody out hard. Not just hit them hard, but lay them out clean, and throw your whole body into them. There is definitely something to be said about the mentality of a player like that, especially such a young player, to where once you work on some of the other stuff that you can work on, which we'll get into here in a second, you have this baseline of this mental fortitude and this violent attitude that you have where you just say, okay, go. Right? And then we'll work on everything else afterwards. But not everybody's got that going, though.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. I think that's, again, given the fact that we've talked about a lot of these commits for Arizona State, I think you'd be tough pressed to find one as violent as this kid off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we've watched a lot of film, and I don't know if I had as visceral of a reaction as far as like to a violent hit.
He packs a punch
from anybody else in this entire class.
He packs a punch at a position kind of need in the future for Arizona State, right? How often have we talked this offseason about this being the last year of Clayton Smith, Prince Dorba, Elijah O'Neal, some of those guys at ASU. And this is a kid that when we talk about Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham and this coaching staff, kind of the way that they've recruited individual players, a lot of them are versatile players, right? Whether they play linebacker and play tight end, whether they play on special teams and defense, whether they play across all three levels of football, that is no different with this kid. He has made a really, really strong impact on special teams at his high school. I think you see that turning on the film as a rusher off the edge, blocking punts.
And blocking punts that led to scores.
Yeah,
the other
absolutely.
way.
And then, I mean, you see there's one play specifically in there where the defense has a pick six. He is the leading blocker.
Dude, I thought that was maybe the most impressive play out of everything, because it wasn't just that he was a leading blocker, but if let's say like you're looking at it, he's on the right side of the field, right? So the interception happens on the right side of the field behind him.
Yeah.
He runs all the way across the entirety of the field, all the way over to the left side as the person who intercepted is running it over, stays in front of him the whole time.
And lays out an offensive lineman.
Throws a couple people out of the way, kind of softly on his way there, but knows that he needs to get in front of whoever intercepted the ball. He gets in front of him, is leading, and then just immediately bulldozes a kid.
Absolutely.
Right? That's football instincts. That's smarts. That's just like, oh, I'm going to run and I'm going to keep up. No, he put on the jets
get six the other
to
way.
get in front of him, and then still had a little bit of extra in him to put somebody down on the ground.
And like we said earlier, he's got really good size, too, for another kid that has a year left of high school football. It's 6'3", 230 pounds. He's going to grow into his body. And I think when he does arrive on campus, this is somebody that could certainly benefit from an entire season, just kind of learning the system, learning some of the techniques. I think his first step at the line of scrimmage could maybe be something that he focuses on going into this final year of high school football. I think his actual pass rushing moves, whether that be just straight up bull rushing or finesse types of moves, I think those could use just a little bit of work. But again, he's such a young player that I think these are things that when he gets to Arizona State, or if he focuses on this going into his final season of high school football, that it's going to be wildly different by the time he ultimately does get to ASU. But one specific piece of this that I do want to talk about is obviously this commitment came down just hours after Kenny had his availability, talking about how they're going to change the approach to in-state recruiting. And a lot of that is based off of what they're going to be doing on the class of 2027 moving forward. Obviously, there's still some guys in the 2026 class that either they've gotten like Tengei or that they're hoping to get over the next few months. But to this Ain't Mike's point earlier in the chat, right? Him and I'm sure a bunch of ASU fans have been, kind of banging on the table, yourself included,
definitely
about in-state recruiting. Like, hey, you need to really focus here on the Valley. And this is such an interesting situation because Tengei released his top five. He released his top five, I believe, either last week or maybe 2 weeks prior. And ASU hadn't even offered him at that point. So this kind of just goes to show that this is somebody that wanted to play at Arizona State. He wanted to stay home. And when that offer did ultimately come down to him, like he was very, very quick to jump on that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, literally. That's what he was waiting for.
Yeah.
Right? And that's probably not something that would have happened 2 or 3 years ago. And when we spent how long yesterday and how long over the last, year now, it feels like, talking about something like this where you want to be special. You want to be the place where when you offer, kids that are from here go, hell yeah, I don't got to think anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on.
I'm going to go to a beautiful place. And for any, we talked yesterday about wanting to get away, right? Wanting to get away from Arizona. I want, if there's any
Which
potential.
you haven't done.
No.
You haven't done.
If there's any potential high school recruits out there, one, not as bad as it seems. Two,
what's not as bad?
You can like staying in one place, right? But two, if you move out of home and you are at college on campus, it's basically like moving away from home. Like you're living in a pretty different environment, than you were living before. So for somebody like this to not just be like he's not going to be a walk-on. right? I mean, this is a top 25 player in the state, top 110 edge rusher in the country, right? Like, this is somebody that has the chance to develop into a great piece for Arizona State.
Absolutely. I think that's the point here, right? And there are always those individuals on social media, I think more so, that like to hide behind, names and profile pictures that aren't theirs or whatever, and say, well, this kid's just a 3-star. What's he going to realistically do for us down the line, right? He's not a 4-star. He's not a 5-star. He's not going to do
what
X,
would
Y,
anybody
and Z.
under 4 stars do for an Arizona State program?
And obviously you have the Cam Scadaboo comparison, but not every player is going to turn into Cam Scadaboo. I think, again, like, what this shows is that Arizona State, the staff, they will have guys that they want to get locally that can turn into, key pieces. Whether this kid turns into a star for Arizona State or he's a project that ultimately is just a rotational edge rusher, I think either of those is fine. The fact of the matter is, Arizona State and this staff made a commitment when Kenny got here, saying we are going to recruit in our backyard. He had comments about it just yesterday, saying we aren't doing a good enough job. This plan that we've had, that the staff before us had, that the staff before them had, didn't work, and we're going to change it. And 12 hours later, they get a guy that, again, can be a developmental player at Arizona State. I mentioned earlier that this is a versatile kid, and I realized that I kind of cut myself off after saying that he was, somebody that made an impact on special teams. But he is somebody that he can put his hand in the dirt. He can rush off the edge. He can stand up, play linebacker. He can realistically do it all at a really solid level. I think, again, if you're going to be moving to the Division I level, he does need to grow and elevate his game in certain ways. But the staff isn't afraid to go out there, get these types of players, like you said, a top 25 player here in the Valley, and really try and turn them into that type of piece. And how often does Kenny say, you know what, like, we want guys that want to be at Arizona State more so than guys that are maybe the upper echelon of talent that will be here for a little bit. They want to go get their money and then they'll transfer, whatever. Yeah. Like, this kid wants to be here, and I think that is going to mean so much more for his development when he actually arrives on campus, because it's like, okay, this is my home. This is where I want to be. This is where I've been playing high school football. Like, I want to see this through. I want this place to be my home for the next 4 years.
And you hope that by the end of those 4 years, he has the success story, becomes an impactful player, because then you have like this pipeline of, hey, local kid, stayed home, 3-star, turned him into something, we'll see what he does at the next level, right? Like, you hope that there's that. I want to share 2 screenshots from his huddle highlight film before we wrap things up here. So this is the first screenshot, and as you can see, he's about to hit the quarterback. Right now, this looks like it's going to be just your everyday casual
hit. It looks like he's stretched.
Like he's almost ready. Stretched. He's in the orange jersey, obviously. Now, he hit this guy so hard, he turned upside down. That's the same guy. Wow. That's the same hit. He's upside down.
Yeah. That's wild. I feel bad for the quarterback there.
Down.
The quarterback got literally bounced on his head here.
Dude.
That's tough.
What is going on with his arm here?
Does he not look like
he looks like Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah, he does.
I think this kid a superhero? No, I think that's a kid's leg.
Oh, it is. It is. You're totally right.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what
I thought we were witnessing.
Why is his arm all the way down to his foot?
I thought ASU got a superhero.
I was like, that's absolutely incredible.
I remember watching that play, and he literally turns this dude inside out. It's so crazy.
Well, he literally didn't do that.
He literally didn't.
He
did bounce him on his head, though.
Yeah.
He did literally bounce him on his head.
He did literally bounce him. Yeah, poor kid getting bounced on his head.
If he would have turned him inside out, we would have had a superhero, and that would have been a whole other conversation. Can you imagine doing a breaking pod for that? Breaking, ASU acquires superhero from mythical portal.
Do you think they go to number 1 in the rankings if they acquire a
Probably.
Yeah,
he's probably a 7-star.
A 7-star.
Yeah, because that's where he's from.
6 stars?
Well,
couldn't superheroes just be 6 stars?
Yeah, but why
did we go from 5 to 7?
Because they're super.
Again, not really answering my question there. No, you see what I'm saying?
Come on, Totri.
Yeah, this ain't Mike saying he's going full Brock Lesnar. When I watched him, and maybe it's just like the hair for me, but like Merlin Robertson played with like a very similar violence when he got to Arizona State.
Merlin, stay in bounds. Just go out of bounds, Merlin.
Merlin wasn't like this kid. I don't think is as fast as Merlin was.
Merlin was a wizard.
Merlin was a wizard, but Merlin, I think, regressed every year that he was at Arizona State.
That's sad.
At least in my personal opinion. I feel like that.
I don't know if he regressed as much as he almost plateaued at when he was so young.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was a grown man when he arrived on campus as a freshman.
Keep the trajectory
I will
that
say his final year here, his leadership was off the charts. I think he was.
I think he was a leader. He just wasn't the greatest linebacker I've ever seen.
I think he was like borderline elite the entire time he was here.
Really? Yeah. We've disagreed on this before though.
And then I think the last year he was an elite linebacker.
I don't think so.
But I agree with you that he didn't.
His potential was NFL linebacker.
Yeah. Yep.
And ultimately didn't reach yet. I actually saw him at a Planet Fitness, I think a year and a half ago. Just hanging out.
You love mentioning that. You're nasty.
Yeah. What? He was just working out. Good for the guy. Staying active, all that stuff. But yeah, Tengei reminds me of him. Just I think partially the hair and then also the violence that he plays with. Again, not as fast as Merlin, but Merlin was more of a true linebacker. Tengei's more of an edge rusher.
He's got a motor to him if he doesn't have the true speed. He's got that gumption to him,
The what?
The gumption.
Okay, interesting. Didn't you could have given me a lot of money to guess when exactly that word would be used, and I wouldn't have said today. I wouldn't have said on today's podcast that would have been the word. One more time.
Gumption.
Okay. Well, on that note, guys, let us know what you think of Arizona State landing their second local commit in the class of 2026. Let us know in the chat. We're going to get to some Frosty takes on the other side of this quick break.
This ain't Mike says y'all should do a tier list for superheroes as recruits. How about a super deal with Mountain America Credit Union? What about the worst ad transition of all time, but the best deal that you can get on rewards credit card purchases until July 31st at Mountain America Credit Union? If you are one of the over 1 million members that Mountain America Credit Union is committed to helping at their 100 branches throughout the West, you have a massive opportunity in the form of double points. Now, these are points that you get. These are points that you get when you buy things like gas, groceries, travel, home projects, and all other purchases. And now it's an easy way to stretch your dollar because you get twice as many rewards with their reward credit card. You get things when you redeem these points like travel rebates, gift cards, and event tickets. This is a limited time only, so you have to take advantage while you can. Details at macu.com/double. This ain't Mike says 4 out of 10 transition broski, but it's a 10 out of 10 deal at Mountain America Credit Union. Loans on approved credit offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
That was a really nice save, my man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That was good stuff. Can you do me a solid? Can you just do the rotating door here? I need you to just spin so you could show off the Branded Bills hat that he is rocking. This is one of like 25 Branded Bills hats that Rubus actually has. They are affordable. They are really, really comfortable. I think that's the one thing that people maybe don't understand about the Branded Bills hats is like there are some hats that are like, okay, like this just feels like a hat. This is like a very breathable hat. Like
my
that's
head
the best
is
way to
being
describe
hugged.
It. That's a great way. But it's not like a bear hug. It's like a gentle hug.
It's comfortable. It's breathable.
Breathable is the best word to describe
everything.
It's
Branded Bills.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful hat. They put in a lot of time, energy, and passion into every single hat. We went out to the Branded Bills facilities a couple months back. And I mean, it's amazing. All of the stuff they do over at Branded Bills. Obviously, they've got some partnerships with ASU, U of A as a part of their campus collections. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. We appreciate everybody hopping in the chat today, listening on audio as well. If you guys could just do us one other solid while you're here, it's super easy. Just hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you are not subscribed. I know there are people that are probably here every single day that are like, Totri, why do you tell people to subscribe every single day? It's because we get new people in the chat just about every single day, whether they comment or they're just, kind of stalking the page.
Yeah, who's this new person? Sharon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sharon. Nice to see you.
She could be the mother of the chat.
Sharon could be the mother of the chat. There's potential there.
There is. There's a lot of potential. Sharon, can we interest you in a diehard membership by chance? Maybe at some point.
Can I interest you in a Frosty?
You can. You can absolutely interest me in a Frosty. It is time for Frosty Takes, brought to you by Wendy's, my new favorite segment that we have here at PHNX. The Deli Man is going to go retrieve some lovely, lovely Frosty, some of the new flavors that
Ooh,
Wendy's
I hope
has.
I get the strawberry Pop-Tart one.
You're a strawberry swirl girl.
I
though.
really,
Through
yes,
and through,
but I had, so I get 2 Frosties a day on Thursdays,
You do.
which good and bad for a couple of different reasons. Great taste, great value. Not awesome for the figure, but I do love Wendy's. I had the
You're looking real slim thick.
I had the strawberry swirl. Whoa!
I thought he was just about to yeet this across.
I think this is the strawberry swirl. This is
Wow.
the strawberry swirl.
Is that the strawberry swirl? Is he the strawberry swirl girl today?
Yeah.
Before we get into the Frosty takes away, we need a taste test here
Okay.
of what we got, because that looks special.
Yeah.
That looks special, my guy. Especially in like the heat. Like it's what 100 degrees.
Are you
outside?
mad at your lactose intolerance?
I'm mad at that every single day, but more so when we do have those Frosties. Wow.
Make sure you get a lot of strawberry in there. A lot of strawberry.
I'm like locked in to what he's got going on here. What do we think?
Horrible.
What do we think? It's not. What do we think?
I hate to say, Wendy's, they did it again.
Wow.
I mean, this is really good.
Well, look,
Go ahead and just take it away.
Part of Frosty Takes, we obviously show you guys some of the worst takes, the coldest takes, the frostiest takes that we've had here over at PHNX. So I think it's only right, as you enjoy your Frosty, that we go ahead and throw up maybe your coldest take that you have had yet.
Koa Peat's Sun Devil.
So
Put it in the books.
Okay, put it in the books, and we can clip this when it happens.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, wait, let me. It is March 14th, 1:21 p.m. Koa Peat, I'm calling it right now, will be a Sun Devil. And not just a Sun Devil, he'll be a Sun Devil great. Still time.
Any
I don't know, I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down.
Really?
He's still gonna be
that's where we're going here.
He's still gonna be a Sun Devil. He's gonna flame out at U of A. He's gonna hate Tommy Lloyd.
He's gonna flame out at U of A.
He's gonna hate Tommy Lloyd. Not even draftable. Okay. He's gonna leave him and Kiona, and they're both coming back.
That's the take. That's how you're trying to save this.
Trying. It's gonna happen. You can clip this.
Oh, dude.
The Frosty's making him colder.
I just like.
You're
You
annoying.
don't want to be like, hey, hand up. I was wrong. Koa didn't ultimately come to Arizona State.
No, I don't back down until it's over.
It's over.
I
Rubens.
didn't hear the bell, boss.
You should. The bell rang. The fight's over. He's gone. You're the only one left in the arena. That's it. Okay?
It's like World War II soldier fought for a decade after the war ended. And that's me right now.
He's literally at the rival school. You're gonna see him this year, not at ASU.
No,
You're gonna see him twice.
Yeah, you're gonna see him twice. You stood on it. You said,
It's still gonna
mark this down.
It's still gonna
Koa
happen.
Peat is gonna be an Arizona State Sun Devil.
He says,
Fast forward 2
Rubens
weeks later.
doubling down is so on brand.
Fast forward 2 weeks later, Koa Peat was indeed not an Arizona State Sun Devil.
There's still time.
Oh my goodness.
There's still time.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Bobby, I believe in you.
Oh god. Is that the no bell?
Hey,
is
wait.
that the no bell or the maybe bell?
That's the fight bell.
That's
It's
the
over.
fight bell.
Listen,
Wow,
I'm just setting us up so that we have a really easy time finding our Frosty tick next week.
Trust me, we had no problems finding plenty
I
of
love
Frosty
Michael
takes.
Reagan saying ASU couldn't afford Pete. I'm assuming they're talking about Pete Carroll,
Mm.
or maybe
I was thinking Pete Dunham.
maybe they wanted to get in the politics world, and Pete Buttigieg was going to come to Arizona
wow.
State.
Wow.
Maybe
South Bend legend.
Griffin.
Really?
Yeah.
Pete Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Peter Griffin.
Pete Griffin.
Should we just draft Pete's next Wednesday?
Pete's.
Oh, wasn't a Pete Wheeler from Backyard Baseball? Maybe that's who he's talking about.
I just bought
Thanks,
Backyard
Michael.
Baseball for my Game Boy Advance.
Wow. Congratulations. On that note, I think it's time.
What, did that throw you off, Shane?
No, it just seems a little silly to be playing a Game Boy Advance in the year of our Lord. Because I play
Game Boy Advance SP.
okay, but I play a GameCube, and that kind of makes sense. But a Game Boy Advance you can just emulate on your phone, and they have Backyard Baseball for the phone
needed
now.
a bite.
Well,
They literally no, I'm not kidding. The timing is what's throwing me off because they just released Backyard
I
Baseball
bought it for
Mobile.
like $6. It's physical
Backyard
media,
Baseball
man.
Mobile.
Physical media.
Glad.
All I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Talk your
That's a
stuff,
great
Swirl
comment.
Girl.
Yeah.
Listen, I ain't hear no bell.
Yeah, well. Do it, Shane. Hit there
Still didn't hear it.
you go. There you go.
Koa Peat!
Look, this is
Come on!
this is not only Rubus's only Frosty take of the day. I think
we're just going in on me today.
We're both kind of at fault here. This is one about 3 weeks into the college football season. We were talking about contenders and pretenders. And Rubus, we decided that this next team here was a contender. Where do you want to go next?
Let's do UCF.
UCF. My goodness. RJ Harvey is a dog.
Yeah.
I love that guy. KJ Jefferson, though, hasn't been the greatest quarterback for them.
No.
He's been like a third running back for UCF. I think Penny Boone is the other running back that they have at UCF. Also been really, really good through the first few games of the season. UCF undefeated. They haven't really run into anybody yet that's given them a problem. Earlier in the show, I said there were 3 teams in this conference that looked like they could be competing for a Big 12 title. We talked about Iowa State. We talked about Utah. And UCF is my third team. Going to be interesting. They've got Colorado at home. And they are, I believe, a 2-touchdown favorite over the Buffs.
They need to handle business the next 3 weeks to really solidify. I think they're absolutely a contender right now. But on paper, look, they beat New Hampshire. Congratulations.
They killed.
Okay. Killed who?
New Hampshire.
Yeah. Finish the sentence before you act like it's the most impressive thing in the world.
57-3.
It's New Hampshire. They don't even have footballs in New Hampshire.
57-3.
Anyway, 57-3. Then they beat Sam Houston 45-14. TCU game was close. The TCU game was really close.
It shouldn't have been that close, though.
But
Wasn't
it was.
UCF? Yeah, TCU was winning that game.
They had to come back and win that game.
They did, though. It's because
They won.
TCU's stinky.
They won, and I will give them that.
Can't
but
cook.
If it's a close game against Colorado and a close game against Florida, then it's you might be looking at not going as much into the contender status. But if they dominate Colorado, dominate Florida, they should dominate the next 3 weeks. They should start 6-0. They should.
They should.
They should beat Colorado. They should beat Florida. They should beat Cincinnati.
UCF proceeded to lose 8 of their last 9 games after that clip was put out on social media.
Yeah, they should go 6-0. Isn't that right, dumbass?
If you would care to know how the 3 games after that clip went, they lost to Colorado by 27 points. Then they lost to Florida by 11 points, and then lost to Cincinnati by 6. Not a great stretch for UCF. Ultimately, they benched KJ Jefferson, who I believe transferred back to Arkansas.
He went back?
He did. He did
That's
go
funny.
back to Arkansas. They changed up their quarterbacks throughout the season. RJ Harvey, though, still a dog. was still a dog
true.
throughout the season.
RJ Harvey was absolutely a dog.
and through a dog.
For
Every
sure.
other bit of that, not great. UCF, one of the worst teams in the Big 12 last year.
Yeah.
Wait, KJ Jefferson doesn't have any eligibility left.
I'm pretty sure he transferred back.
How?
I don't know how.
Is
I'm
it
not-
like
don't
the
ask me.
Bashir?
I think you might have gotten memed or something.
You think I'm making that up? Let's see. What did you just look up? KJ
Frosty.
Jefferson?
Well,
Frosty cold
there's
takes?
no way he has any eligibility left, and I see nothing about that. I think you had.
Did you dream about
I think you had a
this?
dream.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's a UDFA.
Oh yeah, he's an undrafted free agent. Yeah, maybe I got. Regardless,
Okay, sorry.
UCF stunk it up
Here,
the rest of the year.
The draft just
And I blame
has this on
Rubus.
my mind. You see, the Shamar Stewart stuff is crazy. Like, he's just like not gonna play. He's
That's
gonna
not
land in the
crazy.
draft.
The
That's crazy.
Bengals are at fault here.
That's
We're not gonna get into
crazy.
Yeah, what are we doing?
The
I don't know.
Bengals.
I just saw that. That was shocking.
The
to me.
Bengals don't know what they're doing. They never have known what they're doing, and they continue to fall flat on their face.
Has that ever happened before? Like somebody has literally been like, "I will not play for a year."
Yeah,
and go
Joey
back to the
Bosa.
draft."
He's
No, and go
sat
back
out.
to the draft.
He can't go back to the draft.
Shamar Stewart can go back to the draft.
No, you cannot. You cannot. Once you are drafted, you cannot go back to the draft.
If you don't sign your rookie contract, you could sit out for a year and enter the draft next year, and the only team that
Not
can't
how
take
that
you is
works.
the one that selected you. I'm pretty sure that's real.
All right, that's
Yeah, he can.
he can go back to the draft
Yeah, he can be drafted by any team except for the Bengals.
if he sits out a year.
Yeah.
TFT article. Yep, I'm reading right now. That's crazy.
That
All right,
is
let's
crazy.
stop. Let's stop. It's time for a break, probably.
Wow, I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
Frosty Cole, take that, Totri.
I mean, yeah, that was something, that whole Frosty takes. Let us know what you guys think was worse. Me saying that UCF was a contender, or Rubus saying that Koa Peat was bookmarked going to
What's
Arizona
worse,
State.
having faith in UCF to be a good football team, or believing
In Bobby
in the
Hurley.
hometown hero?
And Bobby
What's worse?
Hurley.
What's
Okay,
worse?
Calm down. Look, Wendy's, of course, putting a twist on their classic Frosties with all new Frosty flavors. Make sure you find your new favorite flavor and clock in for a sweet treat any time, including midnight or later, or fresh on a classic. It's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's locations. Hours may vary by location, but the Deli Man said it first. It is time for our second break. Guys, I'm here to tell you this sweet brand redacted drink. You know where I got this? I got that from Circle K today. I also filled up my tank over at Circle K. I saved money both on this little drink here and on gas because I'm an Inner Circle member. I tell you guys every single day how you can sign up. If you haven't done it by now, like, what are we doing? Go to the App Store, download the app, email, phone number. That's it. That is all you got to do to be an Inner Circle member. And you are going to start saving money every single day. You guys can save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. If that's not enough, you can save 3 cents per gallon every single day after that. Plus, they've got plenty of other member exclusive deals and discounts. Literally, just rapid fire here. 79 cents Polar Pop, 99-cent Froster. They got 3 for $7 energy drinks. They got 3 for $5 28-ounce Gatorades and Gator Lights. They got so much that you guys can go snag over at Circle K with their deals. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
It's easy to spend money, whether it's on a brand new Frosty or you're filling up gas, or maybe you have some subscription services that you don't remember that you subscribe to. Maybe you're spending money recklessly and you don't realize it. These are all things that are possible, but that can be fixed.
Yeah.
All if you get Monarch Money, the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts, with over 30,000 5-star reviews, named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025, and it tracks your spending, savings, investments effortlessly so you can focus on what matters the most. Frosties, but also your personal goals and everything that you want to do to make your best life a reality. And it's hard to do that with how busy everything is. So get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code PHNX at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHNX.
This ain't Mike saying, yeah, one of those takes is 10 out of 10 bad. The other is 13 out of 10 bad.
Yours is 13.
Which, yeah, I was going to say, this ain't Mike.
Well,
Which one?
here's the thing. I was in both. So
He said UCF is bad. It's the bad one.
He said UCF is the bad one?
I was in both, so I can't really escape this.
Yeah, but one includes me, one doesn't, you know. I was when you said those words that Koa Peat was going to be an Arizona State Sun Devil, I remember sitting here and being like, I am not going to double down with you on this. I'm going to let you just kind of run wild on it. And that's exactly what you did. So, yeah, congrats, man. You ran free. You had your take. Came back freezing cold. But it's okay. It happens to the best of us.
Frosty out of it.
You did. You absolutely got a Frosty out of it. How is it? How was that Frosty, by the way?
It's good.
It's fire. Wow, that looked like a good bite. Looked like a really, really, really good bite. Look, that was a good while bite. You're enjoying that, we're going to do and talk about something that I know you really, really enjoy, and that is Arizona State men's basketball. Their Big 12 opponents have been announced. On top of the fact that John Rothstein broke some news that Arizona State will face Santa Clara in the Jack Jones Classic on December 13th.
Breaking news, Arizona State has been eliminated from March Madness contention.
Oh, already?
Already.
Tough. That is tough. These are the Big 12 opponents for Arizona State. At home, they're going to see Cincinnati, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, and West Virginia. On the road, they're going to have Baylor, BYU, UCF, Houston, Iowa State, and TCU. And twice next year, they're going to see the Wildcats, the Arizona Wildcats. They will see Colorado, and they will see Utah. Overall, Rubus, I feel like it's a pretty decent draw for the teams that you're going to play twice. I feel fine playing Utah twice, feeling fine playing Colorado twice. Obviously, the U of A thing is it's a rivalry.
Yeah, you're going to play U of A twice every year.
But how do we feel? Do we feel like the home slate is tougher or the away slate is tougher?
I like what this Mike said. We're a hockey school.
So, and a football school.
Home slate or away slate? Well, there's no easy slates in the Big 12. No. I think the home slate is a little easier, though.
Yeah, I would agree.
The away slate, Baylor's still going to be good. BYU is still going to be good. Houston's going to be good. Iowa State's going to be good. And then UCF and TCU can be frisky. For home, Kansas will be good. Kansas State has been good. Texas Tech has been good. West Virginia, borderline top 25 team. Oklahoma State, Cincinnati. So I'm not like worried about it because
You're not worried?
no, I'm not worried.
Because they're going to go undefeated.
Yes. The opponents are going to go undefeated.
Yeah.
Yes. 100% agree. And I just, you know what, man? We're just going to approach this basketball season with
optimism.
The best vibes possible. You
How
know
do we
what that
do
means?
that? How do
You
we
wanna
do
know
that?
how we do that? We say, F it. We ball.
That's probably what
I never want to hear that again.
Just put the ball out there. Ball up top.
We ball.
Let's go hoop.
Let's go hoop. That's
go hoop.
That's the vibe.
That's it. Let's go hoop.
What do you think, Deli Man? Which is tougher, the home slate or the away slate?
I mean, the away slate teams are tougher. Like, I think BYU has the potential to be the best team in the conference.
I would agree.
BYU
I would
is
agree.
Very good.
And you have to go there. But the home, or sorry, no, yeah, they're on the road. Yeah, the home slate, you do avoid some tough
Environments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to go to Kansas and play Fog. You don't
No,
have
you
to,
do. Oh no.
No.
Yeah, the away slate. You're right. You're right.
And you don't have to play at Kansas State and play at the Octagon of Doom. So
You do got to go to Houston and Iowa State, though.
you do have to go to Houston. Iowa State's environment is whatever. I don't know much about
They're
it.
just a great team.
Yeah,
like,
they
overall.
are.
They're a great team.
They've been a good team, but they lost a lot of pieces. I don't know how they're going to be this year. So
Their coach is the one that wears the really tiny shirts, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. I can't
but
tell.
so does Texas Tech's coach.
Yeah, and Toppin's back too. So, right or no?
Does the Big
Toppin
12
is back. JT Toppin's back.
Does the Big 12 have the worst dressed coaches in college basketball? Bobby does not have that stuff on.
He had some drip.
Unless he's playing U of A and then ripping his tie off. And
He
getting mad.
starts with a tie every game. But then rips it off.
he started wearing like hoodies.
Well, yeah, down
like
the
long
stretch. Down the
sleeves.
stretch. Yeah, it wasn't great. Shane, are you fact checking me?
Why is he coming back?
Because he wasn't going to be drafted this year
Yes, he was.
in the first round.
Yes, he was.
He was not.
Yes, he
He was
was.
not projected to be a first round pick.
I think he would have been drafted.
What do you think?
I think it would have been drafted. I don't know if he would have been first round draft pick.
Oh, he's going to probably be the best player in the Big 12 next year.
He might be the best.
I mean, he
player
was the best player last year.
He
in the
might
Big
be the
12.
best player in the country next year.
Yeah. Well, JT Toppin, he was a problem last year for ASU. I think he had, a 40-20 game against ASU?
Yep.
And you get him again. At least if you're an ASU fan, you get to go to DFA and you get to watch JT Toppin. That's the selling point. You get to go watch
You can
probably
watch
the best
Jaden
player.
Quaintance at DFA this year.
Where did he?
Kansas. He's on Kansas.
No, he was Kentucky, wasn't
Who?
he?
Oh, hey,
Quaintance. Quaintance is Kentucky, right?
My bad.
I wanted to make sure.
My bad. I thought he was Kansas for some reason.
Yeah. There was an ASU player, I think, that did end up at UCF, though. I think.
Yeah. Devin Cambridge and what's his face transferred. So you're going to be playing Devin Cambridge and somebody else. Hold on.
And then where'd Frankie go? Frankie went somewhere weird. Somewhere that wasn't at Vanderbilt, maybe?
Yeah, I think Frankie went to Vanderbilt.
Gosh. Let's see.
UCF
Sandon.
basketball transfers.
No, not
No,
Sandon.
Sandon was
Sorry.
St. John's.
Sorry, Cambridge and who else went there?
There was somebody from
I don't know.
ASU that I think went to UCF. I could be just off the top of my head. I could be wrong. I've been wrong about stuff today, apparently. But let me know if you find it. If you know in the chat, please let us know because I have completely spaced on it at this point. But yeah, I agree. I think we're all in agreement here that the away schedule is
BJ Freeman.
Oh yeah, it was BJ Freeman that went to UCF.
Yeah, PJ Freeman and
Devin Cambridge.
Devin Cambridge are going to be playing ASU.
Is UCF gonna be good next year?
No.
But they got a basketeer.
No.
They got the basketeer.
No.
They have Mustafa Thiam, who's a 96 4-star, who's making $1.8 million. He's a 7-1 center. Oh, no, he left. Sorry. He left to Cincinnati.
We should just stop talking about basketball. I think.
Well, here we are.
There's a John Bull,
Any relation to
7'2",
Bull?
190.
He's got to be related to Bull,
His
right?
first name is John.
John Bull.
John Bull from Ole Miss to UCF. I don't know if he's related. I don't know.
Well, you find that out. Yeah, Jake
John.
getting there saying, yeah, it's BJ Freeman.
Bryson
He's
Long-
not related.
Bryson Long's going to be so good at Portland State.
Stop it, man.
I'm just really excited to watch Jayon Pitt at Pacific.
yeah, that should be fun.
University of the
You're not
Pacific.
excited to watch Mo Odom here?
I am excited to watch Mo.
The Modem?
The modem.
The
The modem.
Keep
Keep it Arizona State connected.
How many players off of ASU's current roster could you name right now?
Marcus Adams, Mo Odom, Trevor Best, Santiago Truitt. Oh, who's the foreign kid that shoots?
Not Santiago?
No, there's another guy. It's like Griboslav or something like that.
Oh, yes.
I know I'm right. Like, I know it's not far off.
You are.
I know it's not. Grahovic?
Yeah,
Grahovic
something like
or
that.
something like that.
Yeah. Is it football season?
Did you say Jake O'Neal already?
No, he did not say
Jake
Jake
O'Neal.
O'Neal. Shane's favorite player. Shane's lookalike.
Jake O'Neal can hoop though, low key.
Known Toledo Rocket, Bryce Ford.
Yeah.
You guys have never heard that name before,
No,
have you?
never.
Bryce Ford?
Not a single time.
Yeah.
Bryce Ford?
Yeah.
You have?
He was like a walk-on or at the end of bench at ASU, right? Yeah.
He plays where now?
He plays at ASU. He transferred from Toledo.
Your favorite school? The Toledo Rockets?
Yep.
Shane's a big Toledo guy. Just want to let
Can we
everybody
move
know
on?
that. From basketball?
Yeah.
Will says basketball talk should be muted until October.
Yeah.
The same Mike says, do we have a pro gaming team? Let's talk about those brain-rotted kids.
Not a pro gaming team.
Gosh.
We have a club gaming
Sharon
team.
said we need to have a hockey segment for the last part of this podcast every day during basketball season that we stay sane.
Yeah.
Jason, the foreign kid that shoots, is hilarious. It's Andrea
God.
Grabovich.
Yeah, there you go.
Andrea Grabovich.
You
I didn't
nailed
look it up.
Matt,
That's off the dome.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
It took you a little bit to get there, but you did it. Look, I don't know if we've said this. We are going to do, I think, some more post-game shows for women's basketball this year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, obviously, kind of what both teams look like. But I know, regardless, we will be doing a post-game show for the first Arizona State women's basketball game under Molly Miller. So that should be a lot of fun. There's still some basketball that ASU fans can look forward to. And I think there's going to be a lot of hype around Molly Miller's squad, especially based off of all the videos and stuff that they've kind of been sending out on social.
They're going to
look
hoop,
a lot of
man.
fun. They are going to hoop. I think they're going to be a really good team. But the Big 12 is not just a men's basketball conference. It's a women's basketball conference too.
Bryce Ford averaged 7 points for Toledo last year. Just saying.
Congratulations to Bryce Ford. Congratulations to Shane.
He's going to be a beast here.
A beast. When you say beast, what are we looking for averages here?
3, 4
Minutes.
3.4 minutes per game. That's what we're looking at here. Yeah, it's certainly going to be something. BC say baseball coverage would be nice too. Again, we'll kind of see. We'll see ultimately what these teams look like going into next season. One thing is for sure, though, there will be a lot of Arizona State football discussion. That is 100% for sure. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. We do have one final segment for you guys that I think chat is definitely going to want to stick around for, especially coming off a discussion about men's basketball.
This one will be fun.
But before we get into that, we are going to take our final break.
Look around. Look around. Are we in the ad scene? I don't think we're in the ad. There we go. Look
Okay, now
around.
I'm looking around.
Look at the ground. Is it up to par with what you need? Probably not. If you're a small business owner, a homeowner, whatever it is, and you need new flooring, which you probably do, you need to check out Empire today. I want to talk to small business owners specifically because I don't think you realize this, but people walk into your business and they stand in line and then they look at the walls and then their eyes wander and they go to the ground.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you. I'm a pretty judgmental person.
You are.
And if there are not good
I'm
floors,
a little bit more lenient.
I'm not. If there are not good floors, I'm going to judge your business pretty hard. I went into an unnamed business like a couple weeks ago, and the flooring was literally so bad. Like, it was so
You don't want to
gross
name
and
drop?
disgusting. No,
Yeah,
we
that's
we literally left.
Wow.
Don't be like them.
Wouldn't be the case with Empire.
Go with
today.
Empire today. Get professionals who care about flooring and know that it's going to be the right choice for you. Plus, you can get $350 off right now. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and all PHNX Sun Devils listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. Visit empireday.com/PHNX for full details.
Guys, tomorrow is Friday. Let's all have some fun. Do yourself a favor and go book a stay over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. I know, Rubus, you spent some time over at Wild
I did.
Horse
I had a
Pass.
fantastic night there last
How are the
month.
rooms? The rooms look great.
Beautiful, great view as well. Like, you walk in, it's like, okay, I'm feeling luxurious. I'm feeling like I'm big time in here, and then you go and you open the windows and
It's beautiful
you see the
stuff.
mountains. It's
Beautiful
just
stuff.
beautiful.
Look, I've got your entire night planned.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Go get your stay. Go check in tomorrow.
Okay.
Go get yourself a steak dinner.
Wow.
Then right after that, you're gonna hop over to the BetMGM Sportsbook.
Okay.
You're gonna go watch.
That's got to be it, though.
Go watch Game 4. Right.
Wow.
After a phenomenal Game 4, then you're gonna hit the gaming floor. You're gonna rake
Game 4 to gaming floor.
Some money. Okay. Over on the tables, on the slots, and then you're gonna go back to your room. And you're going to have a wonderful night's sleep. And that's just the start of your amazing weekend over at Gila River Resorts Casinos. Remember, you do you over at Gila River Resorts Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details.
Sounds special.
Yeah, it is. It is special. Sharon saying, all football all the time. If it were up to me, I mean, that would be what we did.
Yeah, I put a gun to Totri's head and said, we're talking about
he did.
the basketball
He said,
schedule.
you know what we're doing today? We don't talk enough Bobby Hurley ball. And we are going to talk about basketball, and ultimately, here we are. So, this is what he did to me today. I think you could put that down now. I think you could.
No, we're just gonna do that.
I don't think we. I don't think so. But yeah, that's why we had to talk about Hurley ball today. But now we get to go back to football.
Whoa!
Sun Devil football actually tweeted this earlier today, and I wanted to bring it to the show for everybody in the chat to kind of vibe to give their answers to. We can kind of go through our own moments as well. But ASU football tweeted this saying, what Sun Devil football memory still hits you like it was yesterday? Let's hear it. Whether it be from this season or maybe any memory as an Arizona State football fan, just what's one of those times where it's like, man, I remember exactly what it was, remember what we were doing. And it was just a good old time or a bad old time.
You know, obviously, as everybody's brain like immediately gravitates towards the first name that comes to mind is Manny Wilkins.
Oh God! Let's hear it. Let's hear your story time.
So, you know, obviously, a lot of mine specifically are going to be from the last 5 to 10 years. The Texas Tech game against Patrick Mahomes.
That was a good one.
It was obviously a moment.
Balazs scores again.
Yeah, that was so awesome. So awesome. The Ayuk Daniels touchdown, obviously. I one of the catches that I remember was N'Keal Harry in the Sun Bowl. I don't know if you remember that, but that was at the Sun Bowl. That was a pretty crazy catch from N'Keal there. Jail Mary, absolutely. I remember where I was for the Jail Mary. But then there's this last season. And there was like 10 moments from
There were
this
a lot
last
of
season.
moments.
The BYU interception is something that Sharon puts in the chat. Obviously, the demolishing of Iowa State and the multiple different plays.
Yeah.
There are some big plays during the college football playoffs, destroying U of A. Cam Scottaboo's run against Utah. Cam Scottaboo's run against Mississippi State.
His second run against Utah.
Cam
Scottaboo.
Cam Scottaboo's catch and run against USC, where he stayed up unbelievably.
His passing touchdown to Elijah Badger in the Rose Bowl.
His passing touchdown to Malik McClain in the Peach Bowl. That might be my favorite, just because that was one of those moments that's frozen in time for me, because I was obviously on the field for that, and I was like, he's throwing this, and the ball was in the air for so long.
It was
so long. I was like, oh, this is getting picked, and then he came back underneath it. Oh my God!
Wow, Will throwing out a name that I haven't heard.
CJ
so
Love,
long.
yes.
Saying the 2016 blackout versus UW, the CJ French love catch on 4th down, and the 2 missed field goals from UW. I think Arizona State obviously ended up beating number 4 Washington.
Was that 2016?
I don't know if it's 2016.
I think it was later. I was at that
2017.
Game. I think I was at that game. I think it was 2017. Because I remember upsetting number 4 UW, and then everybody rushing the field, and I saw people get arrested, and then I ran on the field.
There you go.
Yeah.
God. My favorite from when I was actually this is before I went to ASU, when they upset number 10 Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I was at that game.
Me
that
too.
was really fun. Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
You were probably cheering for Notre Dame.
I was with my grandparents at that time. I don't know who I was cheering with, honestly, at that time.
Taylor Kelly had multiple rushing touchdowns. That was elite.
Yeah.
That was an elite game. Obviously, the Brandon Ayuk catch, we've talked about that
a million times.
That's such a classic moment.
Beat Herbo's Ducks.
Oh, you know, underrated one? The gross, 7-9 victory over Michigan State at Michigan in Lansing.
Yeah, that was
when
really
they made
gross.
the field goal and then missed the second one because of I think it was offensive offside or
something
some
weird
type of.
Yeah, it was. on the field goal, right?
Yeah, maybe it was maybe it was a
like an
formation.
it was like back to back though. Like it happened more than once. I think.
Yeah,
that was weird. That was really weird.
That was
game.
awesome.
Gosh.
And that was the first big win of the Herm era too. So it was like, oh
that
boy,
here we go.
There were a couple that were just like, I mean, again, like I go back to last season, obviously a lot. Just thinking about that run.
I mean, even like some of the smaller moments from that run, like the winning the Kansas game late in the game, that was so much fun. Wyoming. The
beatdown of Wyoming, that was nice because I had everything ready for the show by halftime.
Oh, we were cruising, dude. That was such a fun.
I remember, I very like vividly remember a couple moments, the BYU interception, but before that interception was like just the start of that drive, right? They obviously BYU had to go pretty much the length of the field, and you and I were sitting in the press box together, and I was looking at you. I was like, they're due for an interception. They're due for an interception. And obviously, you can't say anything in the press box or do any of those types of things. And I just like he got a pick, and I'm pretty sure like you. Like,
no, that was dude. That's the classic. Like when we were at the Big 12 championship, we were just up there, and I was just doing.
He was doing this after every like big play. I think at a certain point, I was like, dude, if you do it again, I'm gonna hit you.
You were MLing, dude. You can't do that.
It was. I mean, that was absolutely crazy. The start, I think, to the Kansas State game was something that was pretty crazy.
We were doing a watch along.
We were doing a watch along for that game. That was like they started off with an interception, and then you had Jordan Tyson, I think, catch a touchdown right before halftime or something crazy like that.
I remember throwing the football with Captain Redbeard during the
Oklahoma State
like
game.
3-hour delay for the Oklahoma State game.
That was tough. I think I had plans that night that I didn't ultimately get to go to because that game was like 3 hours delayed past when it was supposed to.
They could have just called it.
Remember the Southern Utah game that got delayed?
The storm, the sandstorm.
Yeah,
that was Kenny's first game.
Yep, that's right before I left.
The haboob of 2024.
You know what I think happened? I sacrificed my time at PHNX so ASU could have a good season.
That was it.
So
I think I was missing.
Yeah, maybe.
The whole time I was gone, they were horrible.
Yeah, they weren't great. They tried really hard.
Yeah,
I remember that Washington game a couple years back. Obviously, where Trent Bourget. They were trying to beat yards. They were trying to beat that Washington team that ultimately went on to go to the national championship.
What about
game.
the Washington team that they did beat with Jordan Clark's pick six?
Yeah,
that was fun.
Really,
obviously
fun.
70-7.
God, these all feel like yesterday. Some of them, like I mean, even the Peach Bowl feels like yesterday. Like just like watching that after the first half vibe, it's like okay, this game is not looking too hot. Shamari comes in, you immediately have a turnover. Then I believe you get the fake punt. And then like it's just boom, touchdown. Like we're rolling here. And then I'll never forget, like I had my phone out for the 4th and 13 and like just I'm like, okay, like this is it. Like you've got a crazy opportunity. I remember looking over to like Brad Denny and Chris Carpin, and we're just like, oh damn, like there's an opportunity here to do something that nobody thought was actually possible. And then you were just watching it in the air. The moment he got it off, like you could obviously see right from that view, it's just like, okay, we sent an all-out blitz. If this is not premier coverage, then it's toast. And then scored the touchdown. I mean, after review, it looks like it hit the ground.
No, it didn't.
It looks like it hit the ground.
So I think I've told the story on the show before, but I was recording that play again from the back of the end zone. Yeah, and you can like the clip I have is I filmed the play, and then as soon as like literally a half a second after he catches it, my camera goes straight to the ground. I'm like, dang it.
I obviously wasn't there, but we were doing the live watch along, and my voice was gone. I've been live for like 5 hours straight at that point, and just screaming. It was terrible. Obviously, some ones that we weren't around to remember, but Michael saying both Nebraska victories at Sun Devil Stadium.
Yeah, it was not.
That's big time.
I don't know if I was conscious for that one, the first one. At that point, what was that? 96? That was a 96 one where they upset number 1 Nebraska. I think. I don't even think I was born at that point. But. Yeah, ASU's had some crazy football moments. Some really good ones, even some bad ones, right? You go back, I think, the Eastern Michigan game, I think there are a lot of people that look at that as bad. I look at it as good because ultimately that was the final straw in getting Herm fired. I know Shane and I will never forget that postgame show. The moment with Sean just screaming lives in my head. Like
being a
for
McDonald's
eternity.
shift lead.
Yeah, just dudes, just fellas out there. Like accountants, it was something.
Dude, it's so weird for me because like during that time I was running the radio broadcast for ASU, and so like I was listening to a majority of those games most of the time than I was watching it.
Yeah.
And so it's like I just think back to all that. I'm like, wow. And then when you said the university or the Southern Utah one, I was like, dude, I was at the radio station for probably 11 to 12 hours straight because they do like a 14-hour pregame show and a 14-hour postgame show. And then obviously it was expanded. It was there till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that was a long week. We got back here, I think, at like 11. And we're like, what are we going to do?
And
like,
you know who had to produce us that night?
Was it Leah?
Leah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Tough. That is a tough one.
I mean, I was there. I was in the office that day at like 9:30, 10. And then I didn't leave the office until like 2.
Oh, gosh. The Elijah Badger, what's it called? Stanford game where if he had like one shoe size smaller, he catches a crazy touchdown.
Oh, the white on white.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Where ASU lost and Stanford scored only field goals in that game. Yeah. That was abysmal. That was like, are we serious here? Stanford just beat us. They're bad. And they only scored field goals, no touchdowns. That was tough. But to end on a high note, I think still for at least Erik and I, the Big 12 championship, like that experience, going to that game,
getting
watching
just
that.
so drunk at DLLS Studios. Yes, that is a good memory.
And on the other side of the country, not on the other side of the country, but farther south from you guys was me in Rocky Point.
Oh yeah,
you're losing your hat,
helping with production and
sitting
stuff
out wrecked at the Reef by myself.
Gosh.
Like my friends were obviously drinking like at the bar. There was nobody there because it was the middle of what was that, December? Yeah, late December. Yeah. And so like people were there to watch the game, and then once everybody cleared out, there was no one there. I was sitting at this tiki bar. I had to ask the guy if I could use his power outlet, and I plugged in and worked at that bar for like 3 hours on the beach. It was bizarre.
What an experience. We're all going to run it back this year.
Pouring rain outside.
I forgot it was raining. We had to walk what felt like forever to get to the Uber.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness,
and
man.
then they're driving back. It's pouring rain. We're like, oh, man, we got to get live. And then we get there, and it's just like, how about this entire bottle of whiskey deal?
And there it went. Guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show.
Molly Miller taking charges on Sun Devil Women's Basketball Twitter right now.
Go check that.
Go
check it out.
She?
Yeah, she is. She's absolutely.
Dude, she rocks for sure.
She does. She absolutely does. It's going to be a great season. It's going to be a great team. Really excited to cover that team a little bit more.
Okay, I have a little bit of a pet peeve with Arizona State. Okay.
All the Twitter ads?
Yes. Dude, it's so annoying.
I think to be fair, Sun Devil Women's and Sun Devil Men's basketball are the same.
It's just like it. It's like I type in ASU to pull up a Sun. It's like, come on, like we need some uniformity here. Yeah, she was taking a charge. That's pretty elite stuff.
I love it. We're diving on the floor.
We need to get into one of these practices, Totri.
We do.
Just to get our asses kicked.
We could be on the scout team.
Just to get our asses kicked.
I'm here for it. Catch me at the charity stripe.
They're not fouling you.
Swish.
No way, dude. You're driving.
I'm going to take the charge.
You're getting your stuff sent 16 feet.
Probably. Guys, always a trip going down memory lane. Appreciate you guys. Hop it in. Hit that like button and the subscribe button on your way out. Make sure you drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast as well. And if you enjoyed today's content, give the show a follow at PHNX _Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony _Totri. You can follow my strawberry squirrel girl here, Erik Ruby, over on social.
Send
at
us
Erik Ruby.
pictures of you eating Frosties.
That is Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Dief.
Reminiscing on good times, bad times, and frosty times as always.
And we will see you guys on Friday. But in the meantime, go Devils. Peace.